boss shit. Your lordship. Niggas talking yachts and some more shit. I used to run the block, now I'm corporate. Hopping out, you know it's sun when the doors lift. Whole squad hide the burners. Mets hat in the sky like Bobby Smurder. They watch me like the chip, courtside at the Rucker. Flow only getting tougher, she begging me to cuff her. Brooklyn sweet chick, waffles with raspberry butter. Wear a mink at the roller rink, middle of the summer. If I can't get it done, I got soldiers with me to cover. Queens get the money, we only stacking it up with. Cheese stay icy, cause shit get spicy. She on demon time, I get her a timepiece. Panic, niggas not lit, not like me. Can't get nothing by me, my mind in 2090. Kalo K, everybody pricey. Cost money, beat the charge money. Fast money, push the start money. Large money, Escobar money.
Little advice, always add spice. Always get the liquor with the ice. I don't give a fuck if that's his wife. I could bag any bitch and it's all white, nice. That ain't right. If she tell me no, I'm getting tight. Look, every time you saw me, I was nice. Every time I saw you, you was light. Every bitch you with look like a dyke. I mean she might not never be my type. Nah, she might never be my type. Look, that bitch is trash. I only fuck her for the hype. I only fuck her for the hype. Look,
Kalo K, everybody pricey. Cost money, beat the charge money. Fast money, push the start money. Large money, Escobar money.
Niggas saying Ferg back, but I been with the shit. Might make a grill with Tiffany's on my gentleman shit. My drill niggas out in Brooklyn and they spitting and shit. Pump and pop out the whip while we sipping and shit. Model bitches that's precise, fuck attendance off the flights. Keep the vision through the lights, never blinded by the hype. Keep the Tommy near the belly, sincere cause I'm hype. Got a ghetto Naomi Campbell designer with the Nikes. I'm the one talking spice. 12-year-old killers with the guns and the knives. Better run for your life. Got a queen and queens and my ex a Puerto Rican spice. Harlem bitch doing time, getting caught up with the swipes.
Kalo K, everybody pricey. Cost money, beat the charge money. Fast money, push the start money. Large money, Escobar money.
Hey boy, we got another one.
Pricey.
Nostradamus, Fabio, Vroom, ASAP Ferg. Yeah.
Let's get it. Sound check to the room. Let's do a sound check. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. Can you hear me on Facebook? Let me know. Say yeah. Throw a thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me on YouTube? Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me on Instagram or IG, Twitter? Let me know. Throw a thumbs up. Let me know. I'm looking at the monitor. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing. Where we at? We good? Short show today. So let's get right into it. How was everybody's day? I'm sorry, man. I got a lot going on here. Let me get this microphone moved in motion somewhere. Wait for a few more people to get in here. I just want to see if I can adjust my my thing here. Let's just see what we got going on. All right, let's try that. Let's try that. Microphone good? Roz says mic sound nice. Thank you, Roz. On Facebook, we're good. Thank you. This microphone gives me a lot of feedback here. You can't really tell, but I can. It's a really bad situation with the mic. It kind of messes my video up, but it's cool. I'll just stay calm, cool, collective, and stay right here right now. How about that? Let me get that one. Get that light there. Brenda Harris says we good. Good afternoon. What up, cuz? What's up, Hud? Huddy Hood in the building. Checking in from where? Louisville. Not Lucasville. Louisville. They will say, thank you. Preston said YouTube is good. What's good with y'all? What's good? Make sure we hear. Anybody heard from Fame? Is he off life support yet? Because I know he was swinging at the air yesterday when I hit him with all them 90 tunes. If he come in here talking shit, every time he come in here talking crazy, I'm gonna hit him with some 90s. I know how to shut him up. I know how to hammer him. I know how to make him, settle down. I just got to go to the 90s hits. That's all I got to do. We good? We good over there? Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I was good on my lights. One of my lights went out. It was really messing some things up. And I think I'm good now. What's good with everybody, man? Listen, bro, I really don't have a whole lot to say today. I really don't. I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of talking on a talk show. That don't make any sense now, does it? If you really want a good show, I think you should go watch yesterday's. I had a lot of something in it that we could splice out and cut out a whole long frame segment that I really didn't enjoy. But I mean, I had fun with it. But he said, AP said his ass is chopped. You know it. You always know the dudes who was cool coming up. Because they don't say shit. Like, they just sit back like, yeah, those was the days. I had all of it. Money was good. The girls was all on me. I remember Vanessa. That was my shit. My baby mama. They reminisce. That's what good music do to you. Good music puts you in a good mood. So what do you think gangsta ass music do? It puts you in gangsta ass mood. It puts you in that one kind of, that chop kind of way. You know what I mean? It puts you in that one kind of way. So, I'm still shocked that Fame don't really want. He was really hating on the 90s R&B situation that we trying to do over here on the channel. I was a little flustered by that one. I didn't get it. I thought it was positive. I don't think the 90s was the most positive music for Black folks, but I think it was I think the 90s became a change for Black music because of New Jack Swing. I think before the New Jack Swing sound came, I think younger people, meaning our age back then, the 20-year-olds or 20 to 25-year-olds was in a space where Luther was too old because it was our mama's music. Certain music was just too old for us when we was 20 to 25 years old. You feel what I'm saying to you? So I think New Jack Swing music came at the right time, because then we came with our own smooth singers like Keith Sweat. We know he can't really blow, but he had an album that was untouchable. Keith Sweat came out, I mean, the Albie Shores, the Jodeci's, all that music came out and changed how we was doing stuff. We no longer had to flick the tune of, I love Luther Vandross, but Luther Vandross wasn't putting out an album that was meant for the 20 and 25-year-olds. He sung ballads and it was all good. But I can remember one time in the Fay Apartments that we danced, we slow danced, wall dancing, kissing and grinding dancing. One time, Luther had one song that you can play in a house party, and that was Superstar. It was a bad song. No, it was a dope ass song. It was long. I think Superstar like 12 minutes long. And I mean, for us, it was cool because if you had a little girl that you was kissing and grinding on, 12 minutes a long ass time. That's 12 minutes of being real cool in front of your friends, looking like you macking, looking like you doing something. And I don't know how the girls seen that. I don't know how the young ladies seen the wall dancing. For us fellas, that was the coolest shit ever, because all you had, if you had a girl and you can get up against the wall and do your little, your slow dance, grind dance and all that old shit, that was fly to us. That was some shit that made us look like we was about it, like we was cool. But I don't know how the girls took that. I don't know if the girls was feeling grown when they got put up on the wall. I don't know. I really don't know. I've never asked any of my female friends, how did that shit feel when we was kissing and grinding your ass on the wall? Was that some shit that y'all went back and said, I had Chili, I had John, I had Rock? You know what I'm saying? Like, we bragged about it. Man, did you see how I had Tiffany ass up against that wall? Man, I was killing it. We wasn't doing nothing. Guys are so shallow, man. We would say shit like we was killing it. Man, I was killing that shit. You do know everybody was dressed in the up on the wall. Y'all remember when I put that picture of, I don't know if I still have it. It's a picture of us. It's a picture that some people didn't really find to be cool. But I should have thought about the picture before I put it up. I should have been like, well, it's gonna be them normal haters that's gonna come in and be like, oh, look what he put up. How he gonna put them babies up on the wall like that when he know it probably was your ass on the wall? Like, I put a picture up. I don't know if I still have it, but I put a picture up of us kissing and grinding on the walls back in them house parties. I don't know if I still have it, but I'll try to find it while I'm talking. And I got a lot of flack for that because people was like, oh, he gonna put them babies up on the wall and on the TV or on the screen. And I should have told them all to shut up, but I decided not to because I was like, was I wrong for that? You know what I'm saying? Was I wrong for putting them kids up there like that? I didn't see anything wrong. It actually looked pretty fun. It looked like what we used to do when we used to, kiss and grind at the house parties. It looked just like that. So I didn't see anything wrong with it. It wasn't anything explicit. There wasn't any vulgar. There was no bad, there wasn't nothing wrong with it as far as I was concerned. And I should have stuck with my guns on that. But a lot of people gave me a little flack about putting that picture up. I got a lot of flack in my DM about that because they said you should not have put them kids up there like that. And I'm trying to figure out, did I show some kids doing something nasty? And no, I didn't. To be honest with you, I did. I'm sitting here trying to find the picture now. If I can find it, I'll put it up. That'll give some people some time to get in here. And you know what's going to happen? As soon as I find the picture, I'm gonna put it up for everybody to see. And then what's going to happen is the new people that's just getting here, didn't hear my explanation. They're going to come in and they're going to see that picture again. And they're going to think that I'm just being nasty. They're going to think I was just being too extra with the kids or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Meanwhile, hold on tight. All these pictures I have in here, y'all be surprised. Boy, I got a lot of stories. A lot of these pictures are from our past shows here on Wyatt Live. And as I sit here and run these pictures by, I'm picking up a lot of memories of some of the shows. Boy, we've been here a long time. We've been doing this, y'all. I want to thank y'all. I want to thank those that actually have given me your time each day, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your time. I want to thank you for your support. All right. I can't find this picture, man. I'm getting a little upset. I'm getting a little disturbed. Let's see here. I'll give it a couple more ticks because I have a few more slides here. We'll see if we can get this thing. Oh, found it. Let me let it burn and I'll set the picture up again. So, yeah, Luther Vandross was pretty hot in our days, but we got tired of Luther. Like Luther you couldn't put Luther's album on and play it at a party. You could only play like that Superstar, which Superstar is a great album, is a great record. It's 12 minutes long. You can get your kissing and grinding on up against the wall for quite a long time and look like a superstar to the neighborhood, to the kids, to the guys. You can do that. But let me see here. I missed some comments because I was looking for the picture. Deanna said, what up, Steph? Deanna said, I was scared. I would have hid when the slow songs came on. A lot of girls was, but here go the secret, Deanna. A lot of the guys were too. That's why it was cool if you were a dude and you had one up against the wall. Tracy Delham, what's good, sis? If you had one up against Tracy, remember them house parties in the Faye? She was up on that wall. All you had to do was go side to side. And as a girl, you just hold on tight and you let the guy. And that's that, y'all know what it was. I mean, if you seen one of your dudes walk out when the slow songs came on, he was questionable. That's when we would be like, did you see Tony walk out? I told y'all. I told you he don't like girls. But no, what it was, to be honest with you, the thing is there was a lot of shy guys. Tracy Dillingham said I wasn't allowed. We know you snuck out. The Fae had back doors. The Fae had back doors. The only way you couldn't, let me tell you, there was nobody in the hood that could never sneak out. That I couldn't get out the house shit is dead. Everybody in the Fae snuck out the house. The second floor window was close enough to jump down, and we all had back doors. That was the beauty about living in the Fae. When you live downtown, you locked in. There's no outlet. You know what I'm saying? There's one way in. You U-turn and come out of the same way you went in. That's what it was. And it's hard to sneak out in-law homes unless you lived on the first floor. Second floor, you might sprain your ankle when you come down. There go my brother David Goodwin from the Fae as well, saying, I see my sandboxes coming up in this joint. D, remember that, D Goodwin? Them house parties? I got the pictures. Remember them house parties in the Fae? If you didn't have your one up against the wall, you was suspect. Here go the picture, and I don't care those that get mad. We just reminiscing. We're gonna go back to them early days of how we used to be. You feel me? And let's just do this. Let's look at this picture in a positive kind of way. Let's look at what the little boys have on, and let's look at what the little girls have on, and you tell me, let's think. Would the little boys have what they have on in that picture today in 2025? Probably not. But the little girls, it's a definite. I would bet a bank account that the little girls in a house party in today, 2025, would never be dressed like these little girls were dressed at this party back in the day. Check this picture out. There it is. Now, what I don't understand about this picture, this is not the Fae. Look like it, but this looked like some other shit. I don't know where this is, and the reason why I say that is because this is reversed from the way we used to have it. You notice something about this picture that just seemed a little off. Remember this day, this ain't us. That do kind of look like me in the blue shirt right there. However, you know how I know it ain't me? The only thing that says that might be little Randy is she's tall, and you could tell she's a nice looking little girl. You feel me? You could tell that's, she popping. But the one all the way in the corner, the very last one, that's got to be David Goodwin. See how he got his knees in it? D, that's you. But now let's be real. Let me just be real. Let me be honest with you. This is not the dudes from the Fae. I like them tall, Regina. I want the tall one with the pretty hair. Little girls back then dressed accordingly. There's one little girl got on a little, I guess, little something. I don't know, little pink thing. She probably the fast one. But I'm just saying. See how everybody got on Sassoon jeans and shit like that and Sassoon little skirts? Yeah, back in the day. But here's the problem with this picture, how I know it's not the Fae. Yeah, Dave's short. That's why I know that's him. He always picked the little short girls. I got the tall one. I love tall ones. But look, let me just say this. I know this ain't the Fae, Dave, because all the girls got the boys pent up on the wall. That's a no-no. That'll never happen. That'll never happen where we from. That shit, that'll never happen. Lil Randy would never have his back up against the wall. David Goodwin, you would never have your back up. Is that Eugene Williams in the yellow? It's got to be Eugene in the yellow right there. With his head down and he just in it. Yeah, that's how two players do it. I'm just having a good time at the beginning. But no, we never. I don't know where this is. I don't know where they are. This must be in the suburbs somewhere. They got carpet. We didn't have carpet in the Fae. I don't know where this is because this is not how boys dudes like us. We didn't grow up like that. Girls wasn't gonna. I don't care how tall she was. She ain't never putting me up against the wall. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Yeah, Dave, you came on the wrong day, bro. You came on the wrong day. You should have came yesterday. Today, this storyline might be a little bit about you, Chili, Eugene, myself. We had fun though, bro. We had fun. We had great times in our days, man. We walk outside. The only thing you had to worry about is maybe you might get in a fight, but you would survive. Like it ain't like it was never a day that my mama let me go outside and was worrying if I was gonna make it home. I don't think that was that because my mother never, our mothers didn't do shit like that. Like you go outside now, you be careful. You be careful. Oh, my mother didn't tell me that when she seen I was about to go play football. She ain't never say, be careful. I just like, Mom, I'm about to go play. She knew I had on my baseball pants to go play football. Remember, remember, Dave? It was right outside our door in the Fay. Right outside in Williamsburg. Shit, we all put our shit on. We put on football pants, baseball pants, whatever you had to look like you was an athlete, you go out there and play in it. My mama never said, you go out there, you be careful. No, she never said that shit. She just said, come back, be back here when it's time to eat. Everybody but Dave gonna kill me, man, when I see him. Dave went to the store, and I know he remembered this because I've said it on the show. I've never seen anybody. I thought Dave Goodwin and his family was rich. I thought the Goodwins was rich. You know why I thought they was rich? He said, nice patch of grass. Yeah, we had the long football field right there, right by Krista Wilwright house, right outside my front door. We used to tear that grass up, but nobody cared. They loved to see the kids play in the community. Beanie and all them right there. It was a great time, man. We had great childhoods. We was all broke as shit, but we thought y'all was rich, Dave. You know why? I've never seen anybody go to the store as much as David Goodwin. We would be playing football. Now, Dave lived around the corner. I forgot the name of the street. It's the main street on Fay. What is that? What is that? President? Is that President going when you come in? But anyway, Dave, his mom, bless her heart, we all knew her voice. She stick her head out the door. We can hear her all the way from President to Williamsburg, the back of Williamsburg where we played football. David! He's heard this story before, so he ain't gonna trip. David! We already know, Dave, bro, you got to go to the store. President. Okay, it was President Drive. I think Dave would go to the store in the first quarter of our game. The second quarter, he definitely would in halftime. He went in the fourth quarter and he went in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Dave would go to the store during a football game at least 3 or 4 times. I said, they got to be rich. They had to be rich. You don't nobody go to the store that much. My mama might send me to the store. I used to go to the store. Remember them days? Your mother used to send you to the store. Everybody, mama used to send them to the store. I went so much that I can remember the order. I would have to go up to Schwartz and get the same shit every time. My mother would want a Pepsi, the long, tall bottle of Pepsi. Give me a Pepsi and a pack of Virginia Slim menthols, the green pack. I mean, that's how much I went. I went up there so many times that I can remember what I used to have to get my mother every time. Now, Miss Goodwin used to send David up there they had a huge family. Cubby, they had a huge family. They was the best family in the Fado. Like, no mess, wouldn't fight nobody. You didn't want none, no. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want to start no shit with them. But they was good people. A lot of people in the Fay, a lot of people down our ways were great people, big families, big friendly families. You know what I'm saying? And it seemed like their family became your family because you would do shit. And I remember one time when I'm gonna say this shit. I shouldn't, but I remember when Ricky got in trouble, and Ricky used to get in trouble a lot. That's one of David's nephews, and Ricky used to get in trouble. And Ricky had work detail, and he had work detail at the zoo. So I didn't know. We ain't know no better. What up, Princess Flower? You might be interested in these stories. We talking about right outside your door. And Ricky used to get in trouble so much he had work detail at the zoo. So what he did one time, and we was like, man, we about to catch the bus. Now, he wasn't on work detail at this time, but Ricky knew so much bro, Schwartz. So if Schwartz would sell us anything, Huddy Hood. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was buying cigarettes at 11 years old because they knew that it was for my mama. They knew that. But Schwartz didn't care. They didn't have people like they have today out them, watching and all that. They didn't care back then. Now, Ricky Goodwin. Rick used to get in trouble so much, man. He had the secret codes to all the places in the city, how to get in free. You feel what I'm saying? Like Ricky used to take us, we would get on the bus and ride over to Avondale from the Fay. We get on the 49 transfer, whatever the bus it is. I think the 4. Take the 4. I don't remember what bus went to Avondale, to be honest with you. I don't remember it. But we would get on that bus, get on that bus, and we would go to the zoo. We ain't had no money. We was busted. Nobody had no money. We was that toe up like that. We get on the bus, we get over there. He was like, don't worry about it, man. I got everybody. So we went. He was, don't worry about it. I got everybody. We get over there. I didn't know I had to sneak in the zoo. I didn't know when we got there, you got me meant I'm going to show you how to sneak in the zoo. So Ricky showed us how to get in the zoo because the work detail that he had always showed him the back gates and how to get in and go up the hill. I swear for God, I ain't said that in so long. I swear for God that I thought Ricky was about to get us ate by some lions or some bears or some shit, because he had us walk through the back where the trash was. Then we had to climb this little fence and walk in some grass up a little bitty hill from the backside and end up in the zoo. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Oh, slow down, Ricky. Slow down, Rick. Slow down. I think I'm in the bear trap. I think I'm in the, where the bears live, the lions and shit. Ricky was like, come on. He used to be like, Ricky was crazy. He's a, come on, punk ass motherfucker. That's how come on, motherfucker, we good. Come on. We were good. Ricky snuck us in the zoo several times, man. Dave, you probably don't remember that shit. But Ricky, good people, man, but he just couldn't stay out of trouble. It started early. And but we would get in places like the zoo. He got us in Kings Island. I was like, y'all have work detail in Kings Island? He was like, yeah, man, we had to come out here and sweep and do all that type of stuff, but I know how to get in. Go out there, we get on all the rides. And I blew through my money on the bus fare. We ain't had no money like that. You 10, you 10 years old, man. You ain't got no money like that. We get out to Kings Island, and Ricky knew people. Like, he knew people that worked in there. Like, what y'all want? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Ricky was cool as hell, bro. Like, unfortunately, that's how you get easily influenced sometimes. That's how you find out, like, damn, bro, these guys get in trouble and they cool as hell and they, they popular. Like, we walked in the zoo, was getting free ices and, popcorn and shit. I ain't got no money and I'm sitting here eating better than people that got some money. It was just, our childhood was special. It was cool. We didn't really know. He said that was Charlie. It was Charlie. Charlie too, though, bro. Now Ricky got us in the zoo. If it was Charlie that did the Kings Island, maybe, bro. But yeah. Oh, you call Ricky? Is Ricky Charlie? Ross said, facts, Wyatt. Downtown Ninjas was bad influence. I was around a lot of bad influence, bro. That's how I know to be able to. That's how I know what I know today. You feel what I'm saying? Ricky was a good kid. Ricky, yeah, Charlie. Charlie was his real. Yeah, Charlie was. He ain't even got to tell me. I remember sometime they called him Charlie. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was, bro. And then his other nephew. Look, this is how crazy it was. We was, the first time I seen, what's that with Eddie Murphy's first one when he wore the red leather suit, the red leather suit on stage. What was the name of that? Delirious? Was that Delirious? The Eddie Murphy stand up. It was his very first one. He wore the all red leather outfit on stage. Was that Delirious? Somebody put it in the screen. I ain't gonna be able to talk unless I know that. Before I seen Delirious, I thought Delirious was a nasty movie. Cause like my mama and them had it on DVD and wouldn't let me watch it. Yeah, the Eddie Murphy Delirious, the Eddie Murphy, yeah. They wouldn't let me watch it. So I'm thinking it's a VHS and it's a dirty movie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out with me, Dave, Sugar Man, yeah, Suge was with us. No, it wasn't Raw. Raw was the second one. It was me, Dave, Suge, Chili. It was a group of us. We rode the bus over to Suge's daddy house. which I think he lived over in Avondale too. I don't remember where Suge's father lived. I don't remember that. But the point is this: we get over now. His father was a preacher or a deacon or something. He was something in the church. He was something titled in the church. We get over there, and he was like, "Man, y'all want to watch this movie? Y'all want to watch a movie?" And we was like, "Yeah, let's watch a movie." And he said, "All right, I'm gonna put this one in. Y'all gonna trip out off of it. It's called Delirious." I'm like with my mouth wide open, like, "Oh man, my mama won't let me watch that shit. I'm about to watch Delirious." And it's an Eddie Murphy movie, but my mother made it sound like it was not for children, which it probably wasn't. But shit, I get over my people's house. I get over my bad influences houses and shit. And I can do what I want to do. Now I'm sitting there watching Delirious, and it's nothing like I thought. I thought, when are the ladies coming out? When is he going to do what he going to do? When is the nasty shit about to happen? And I didn't realize that it was a stand-up comedy. But when I got over my friend Sugar Man, you know, his daddy's house, I thought I was about to watch a nasty movie. That's how we were. I was a little naive as a little boy, and I grew into my influences, if that make any sense. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, Delirious was probably, just my opinion, Delirious was probably Eddie Murphy's best work. Now, I know I'm about to run into some traffic for saying that. All right. Eddie Murphy has a crazy catalog of good stuff. But in my opinion, I had never laughed so much. I watched it so many times. I've never seen Eddie Murphy funnier in anything other than Delirious. I mean, he's been funny, but Delirious is his number one, to call it, piece of work. That's my opinion. Delirious was crazy. Even though I had all different expectations of it when it first hit, you know, when it first came out. I do know why my mom didn't want me to watch it. It did say a bunch of shit in there that probably wasn't suitable for children. And my mother was trying to keep me away from stuff like that. It's weird. I got to, Huddy Hud, if you still here, I had a weird childhood, bro. My mother kept me away from all the shit that was happening out in the world. But everything that was happening in the world out there was happening in my house. You know what I'm saying? Stay away from all them drugs out there and shit. You hear me? I'm just saying. All the abuse and boyfriends and all the shit she was trying not for me to be out here in the world, I was witnessing it right in my own home. And I'm like, what the fuck? This shit is crazy. How could I be, I'm far from a naive child at this point. I'm going through everything you trying to keep me out of. Huddy Hud is still here. And I think he's my receipt in this case. Huddy Hud watched me grow up as a young man. He sent me another picture the other day. And I still have it. I haven't shown it or anything, Huddy Hud, but this is little Randy right here. This is my mother's child right here. That attitude is the attitude I kept on my face for many, many years. That's my F the world. That's my, when the cameraman told me to smile, y'all already know. I'm going to do what I want to do. If you don't like what I'm doing, then you go somewhere else with it. This is me. That's just how I was as a kid. I ain't changed too much. To be honest with you, I haven't changed that much. But yeah, we kept a lot of things. My mother kept me out of a lot of stuff out in the streets. But I don't think she realized that I was witnessing and seeing everything from the crib. You know what I'm saying? Where I said, Wyatt, I was smashing my aunt friend upstairs the night Delirious came out. You must be old, bro, because we was so young when Ross got to be way older than us. I wasn't smashing nothing at 10, 11 years old. We were like 12 or something at the max. You feel me? Like, Delirious came, somebody look it up for me. I can look it up, but Delirious came out in what? 80? 82? When did Delirious come out? Like 1980? Between 80 and 85, it wasn't even that old. Because I was still a young dude. It had to be 80 to 83. Yeah, had to be somewhere in that area. You feel me? So, yeah, hey, bro, it's all good. I had a good time as a kid. I don't know about y'all. Shit. My traumas turned into something special. It turned into how I became 1983. See, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was 13. I probably wasn't 13 yet. I probably was turning 13 that year because I'm a December baby, December the 6th. You feel me? So I was probably 12. I was probably 12 years old. And those were my special years, to be honest with you. 11, 12, 13. Those were the years that I was really starting to mold. My personality was just starting to become not who I am today, but it was what I was at that time. My personality was just starting to, I was crook in book. You know what I'm saying? I was a good student, but I had crook in me. You feel me? So I was a combination of both. My mother's child and my daddy's child. You know, I learned how to shoot dice at 10, right? These aren't brags. These are things that okay, my mama didn't teach me how to shoot dice. It was Jay Dishmute, if y'all know Jay, all right? So you learn, a lot of people, a lot of guys out in these streets, they don't learn this shit from their parents. They learn all this crazy shit, how this dysfunctional street shit and all that. We learn that from our friends. That's why our mamas know who you should be hanging out with and who you shouldn't be hanging out with, because they know friends. Like we all know, like one of the indicators of how my children are is I pay attention, not what they put in my face right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, they can front and act like they, act like that they super nice and super special and all that shit. I pay attention to your friends. They can't sit in the car. Come on, bring them in here. Have them come out and sit at the pool, some shit. Tell them come on in, get some water, tell them we just fixed some food. They coming in here, y'all don't have to spend your money. That was my way of getting my kids' friends in the house. You got to come with gifts. Tell them to come on in here, man. We got something in here to eat. We're going to feed y'all so y'all don't have to, oh, no, Mr. Wyatt, we good. We're going to go to the BW3s. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And, no, you bring your ass in and tell your friends that you can't go unless they come on in here and get some of this watermelon or some shit, some chicken or something. Get their asses in here. Because I want to see how everybody dressed. I want to see how all the little young girls, what their attitude is. And you can always look at the one friend and be like, that's the fast one. I need you to stay around the other girl. I need you to be around Tiffany a little bit more. That other one, I don't like her. I don't like her. See, I can always pick the one that's used, and it ain't always the one that's the obvious. All you gotta do is listen to what they say and watch their eyes. The one that cut the eyes and the ones that do a lot of different shit, the ones that look a certain way. You can always tell which one of your friends are the bad influences. You can always tell the ones that are the bad influences. So yeah, I paid a lot of attention to that. Learned that from my mom and learned that from growing up the way we grew up. All right, so speaking of growing up, let me just say this. I heard in Cincinnati that there were 4 or 5 more shootings last night in the city. I got this thing on my phone. It has an indicator of when something is going on from Cincinnati.com's when a story breaks or hits the news. Cincinnati.com sends me the article, and then I get this little bing or an indicator. So I look. Whenever it's Cincinnati.com, I generally try to glance at all of those. And I heard something as crazy as hell talking about there was a shooting in English Woods. There was a shooting in English Woods. You mean the buildings that don't even exist anymore? So let me get this straight. All these years, I thought English Woods was the complex back there. That's English Woods. I thought, just like the Faye, that's the Faye, the buildings back there. Okay, I never knew that the area was called English Woods. Am I misreading this? How are they saying there was a shooting? English Woods been gone how many years? Isn't it just like West Side? Like West Side over in why would they call it English Woods? Is it me? Remember that apartment complex across the street from English Woods? That little bitty one, the little short body? It's a short body compared to English Woods. I done seen 2 shootings in that complex this year on Cincinnati.com. That was recently. A month or 2 ago, a little girl got shot up in there. Another little dude got shot up in there and died. And I'm like, what's going on? And then to call it English Woods, I really got alarmed. Like, what? I was confused, fam. And I'm like, look, I ain't calling nobody about no little shit like that. I want to find out on the show today why they call that area English Woods, because I think they just have it wrong. I just think they have it wrong. I think that they should call it whatever the complex is. Lewis Johnson, CK says, no, Wyatt, English Woods is still current. Really? They still got buildings back there? Let me go to the phone lines. Maybe I can get some answers about it. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking to?
That's me, man. That's me, Wyatt.
That's you?
That was me.
That
yes, was English Wood is still current. I'm still smashing the same freaks from back then. They still there. Ain't nothing changed. It's just a little more emptier than it was back when we was youthful.
So English Wood still got property. There. They still have an apartment complex back there.
They still got them back there, man. They got a couple freaks back there still.
Okay,
they still got drugs and everything, man. It's still back there, just a little more scarce. It's a little more scarce. It's like a IGA in St. Bernard. It ain't what it used to be.
Not like it used to be. I never knew that the English Woods was still there.
I said the same shit when I dropped the chick off up there. I was like, damn, it's still there.
Now, if you said this about the Faye, I would be like, oh, yeah, because they changed the name. It's called Roll Hill or something like that now. Roll Hill Apartments or something.
We still call it the Faye. You know, Reach this and down the way. We still call it the Faye.
Yeah, I probably would never call it anything, you know. But
I was over I was just by your side, West End. Is that where you lived at in West End?
Yeah, I grew up in the West End and then went out to the Faye.
I was just there 10 minutes ago, right? White man crossing the street at the light, right? Just jaywalking. I stand still, and another black lady driving next to me stand still. And we just let him drive. He's not looking. We let him walk by. I rolled my window down. I said, thank you for not killing his ass. You hear me? Don't you hate when people walk across the street without looking and you almost hit them?
You mean like when you in a car?
Yeah, don't you hate that shit?
Yeah, I do, man. I ain't gonna lie.
White dude trying to catch us a murder charge. Both. I told that black lady, thank you, because I like her patience. We not trying to kill you just because you a cracker. Go on about your business, white boy. Trying to get a suicide by a black man or a black woman. We was both it was a white dude. I said, I'm calling you immediately. Then I called you.
Yep. Yeah, so it just happened.
It just happened 10 minutes ago, and I thought of you. I was like, man,
so this
where he from?
So this
I was looking at the environment around me.
So this is a fresh wound. Like this shit just happened. That's why you really like.
I called you immediately, and I was like, I was gonna snitch.
CK, I'm getting a little worried. I'm getting worried, bro. I'm getting worried.
What?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You starting to call me about some shit that
no,
really
I was
get
calling
under
you
your
about
skin.
Eddie Murphy, the delirious, sir. You said you was 11. I was 7 years old. Sir.
You said that when the man walked in front of you, you was about to hit him, and I got to call Wyatt. Shit, I got to call. I was gonna be doing some other shit, but I got to call Wyatt.
That's where your ass from. That's where you from. Don't.
How you gonna put the white dude on me? Because I'm from there. Bro, what you talking about? And that's where you from, so I'm gonna talk.
Listen, sir, I don't want to go to the penitentiary. You know what I mean? And dude that got that shooting that you was talking about on your platform, dude, 58 years old, got arrested for murder. Oh, can you imagine being 58 getting charged with a murder? Well,
here's the thing. I'll be honest. I don't know the ages or anything. That's new to me. But yeah, 50 years old. If you say he's 58?
58?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's crazy. However, that's right around that age group that I'm telling you that we lose patience. I'm almost there. Like we really lose patience with dumb shit.
That's why don't walk around with your strap on you, Wyatt. Do not walk around with your strap.
I ain't at that point yet. I still carry because I have to make sure that, I'm in a weird kind of space in my life. So I have to do what I do to protect myself.
You're good.
But I ain't never to the point where somebody could say something like I could never get into it with somebody over the shit that I see people getting into it today. Somebody was like, they got in trouble over a parking space. Like somebody really cut somebody's life down over a parking space. So now you got somebody that died over a parking space, and now you got somebody that's gonna go to jail for the rest of their life over a parking space. And to be honest with you, it's not really about the parking space. The parking space was just, the spark. That's what sparked the conversation and the conflict. And I'm sure somebody with these two guys, somebody said something to the other one that was super fly. And the other one's like, nah, and it escalated to some of the dumbest shit in the world, which all started over a parking space, which is crazy to me. You can have it, bro. You can have it. You can have the donut. You can have the last donut. You can have, you can have it. You can have the space. You can have the last donut. You can have you can cut in front of me. All that. I ain't going to jail nor losing my life or taking a life for some petty shit. It ain't gonna happen.
But see, you're gonna be compromised if you with your lovely and somebody say something slick like on the sexual term and you strapped.
No,
That make it even more complicated.
No, it don't.
And you strapped.
No, it don't. The only way that I would do something, I would have a problem with somebody is if they threatening to put hands on my family like that. Like
that's what I'm saying.
No, you
it's gonna
said
change the whole dynamic. If
something,
you strap, you go and they put. What if they do? Then you got the strap. Now you might have to blow somebody down.
Well, here's the thing.
If you ain't had a weapon, it ain't going like that.
I'm not even gonna do that because look, let me just tell this to you. I remember getting into it with Fame. I know he probably gonna chime in because I said his name. Somebody gonna tag him and say, "Hey, over there going in on you" or whatever. But let me just tell you, quick one before you get out of here. I had my family in Atlanta a year or two ago, right? And we came out of a restaurant, and this homeless dude, I could tell he was homeless. He was a real young white dude. He had to be about 25. You know what I'm saying? He was younger. He come out, he don't have no shirt on, and he's under the bushes outside of the front door of the restaurant in the walkway. And he pops out and he startles my little girl, my daughter, who with me. So I jump out in front, like I move her off to the side, like, you okay? And then he got fly. He said something like, I ain't gonna do nothing to y'all, but he said it that one kind of way, like he was trying to punk, like he was trying to blow big. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, whoa, cowboy, slow, you know what I'm saying? Slow down. I moved my family back. Now I got my joint on me, you feel me? But
okay.
I'm not gonna use it on a dude that's not threatening me with another weapon. You feel what I'm saying to me? If he don't have a stick, a gun, or a knife, if he don't have none of that, I'm not about to pull my gun out to check dude. It's gonna be a verbal situation just until my family is safe. And then if he swing or do something crazy, I'm not gonna use my gun on somebody that got bare hands. I don't need it like that. Now I hand my piece to my wife and be like, hey, look, if this motherfucker get out on me, then you shoot his ass. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna handle it the way I know how to handle it. I'm not gonna pull my gun out on a dude that got his bare hands. Because first of all, when they see my ass in court, if I handle it that way, it might not play out the way I know it play out. You know what I'm saying? They might not believe all the shit that I'm talking about. First thing they're gonna say, well, why are you shooting, Wyatt? Why are you shooting, Mr. Wyatt? He was just a homeless man, mentally challenged. And I could hear all this. See, I think frames ahead because I watch shit on TV. I watch other people get 30 years for doing shit that I probably would have done if I was thinking like them. See what I'm saying?
You don't want to shoot nobody, Wyatt.
I don't
want to shoot.
I ain't shooting nobody that ain't got a gun pointed at me. You hear me? I ain't shooting nobody. Yep. Like if somebody break in my house and I got my gun, I'm not gonna wait and see if they have a gun. You getting shot because you asked for that. But if somebody just front me on the street and it's like,
but how many times is you gonna let that trigger go? Is you gonna let it go over 6 times?
You talking about if somebody break in the house?
In the house.
Well, it all depends. It all depends on how
you gonna make sure they dead.
Listen, bro. Don't have me on here talking too much, but I will say this to you. No, I will say this to you, and honestly, just like anybody else, honestly, I will say this. It all depends how you take the first 3 shots. Because you getting 3. You getting 3. If you come in my house at nighttime, break in my crib, you're gonna get 3. And it all depends on how you move.
And that sounds like a lifetime full of wheelchair.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, Doc, come on, let's change the
3.
subject.
You gonna get hurt with 3 of them things bouncing at somebody's house, and you at their mercy. You at their mercy when you got 3 of them.
I just figure if you bold enough to come in my gates, you bold enough to do some things if you get inside. You feel me? That's just how I look at things. And if as a man, I'm gonna protect
3 hot ones to you.
You're getting at least 3. All right, 3 coming out, bang, bang, bang. We'll see how you moving. And if you keep on coming, because you got to understand, a lot of people are on these drugs that pain and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Pain is.
But you're compelled to have weapons because you're a protector of women. Yes. Remember when we told the father of the women and you got wife? So I think you're more compelled to have weapons than a normal father.
I think all fathers probably would protect their home. It doesn't matter if you got boys or girls or any of that.
No, not with guns though. Guns have infiltrated you because you got all those women to protect. So you're more likely to get weapons of mass to get them off of you.
Okay.
Because you feel like you're the only guy. You like shit. So if it's more in the house, maybe you don't have. It's probably more weapons being a husband with with all those women to protect. But if it's more guys, it's probably less guns.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But no,
yeah, the paranoia gonna get to you.
Well, I don't know, bro. I figure it take a lot to get to us at my crib. Like, you really got to make an effort. It's not like you just walking through the neighborhood and you can knock on a door to door. You know what I'm saying? Like in an apartment complex. Yep. And you can kind of peep it like that. No, you got to have you have intentionally set forth to come in and do something. And if you'll go through all the shit to do that, to come to my crib and break in like that, then I know that I got to do something because you went through a lot to get here. So you here for a reason. You feel me? And I don't try to figure that reason out. I will figure it out when.
Now another interesting point that you brought up, got on the call, was Eddie Murphy delirious.
Okay, let's get to that. Let's get to
that, sir. You said rookie GOAT. So he's a rookie Super Bowl champion. You said he had his funniest work at his beginning, and I concur. 100%, sir. I think he did brilliant as a rookie in '83, coming out of there, and he knocked it. It was a grand slam, sir.
Yeah, I think I think we would agree on that. I think Eddie Murphy's, I think his best work was Delirious. See, yes. And Delirious opened the door for him. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree.
And it's so damn good. You're talking about it's still Michael Jackson from then to now. It ain't like it got toppled. It ain't like, oh, remember Big Daddy Kane? No, he's still #1 from Delirious.
I don't know.
Now, name a stand-up that conquered it, sir. Wyatt.
Stand-up that conquered it.
A stand-up that conquered Delirious. I'll wait.
No, I don't think
40 years.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I seen a real good one by Cat Williams, but he hasn't put one out that was really, really good in a long time. Cat Williams, when he was fresh on the scene, did his best work. I think that's kind of common though, bro, to be honest with you. I think when these guys are comedians, I think it's harder for them to stay fresh as they get older, because when they're
Chris Rock destroys that theory, sir. Well, he was garbage early. He was a 6 at best comedian. 5.
You might have a point. I didn't like early Chris Rock. Chris Rock had to grow on me. You have a point there. Damn, you cooking today, CK.
We watched these. Remember, but '83 we had Eddie Murphy, we had Scarface, we had Michael Jackson. Who needed school? We didn't even need school. These guys taught us. Entertainers gave me life. Remember, I dropped out of the 3rd grade. I didn't need to learn anything. I got Eddie Murphy. I got Michael Jackson. I got who you got? Mike Tyson. The 80s were fantastic. You didn't even have, remember Dexter Manley? He couldn't even read. James Brooks, he couldn't even read. These people were illiterate, becoming millionaires in the 80s, sir.
No, they didn't. Not the guys James Brooks never been a millionaire. These athletes never became millionaires. Eddie Murphy had a nice ride. Delirious was his best piece of work. He rode that wave and he became a mega superstar. And there's some people that you named there that did not do well after they left their profession of entertainment. And and
but the knowledge we got from these guys.
Remember, did you watch the show yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember?
Oh yeah, you even called. Yeah. Let me just say this to you. That's why I was so big on Dave Parker yesterday when I was talking about Dave. Big Dave. That's what we used to call him, Big Dave.
Popeyes.
Yeah, he owned Popeyes, but Big Dave gave us some information as little kids, and he said to us, for those that may not have been here, Dave Parker used to tell us down at the boys club, he would come to our baseball practice, and he told us, he was like, y'all probably ain't gonna make it. He was saying like somebody's daddy, though. He was cool with it. Y'all probably ain't gonna make it. So young bloods, y'all got to learn how to do what you gonna do if baseball don't work out. And see, those are, I don't think James Brooks, no offense to James Brooks and them guys, but they didn't come do that type of stuff. And somebody probably didn't come tell them that. And even if they do make it, back then in the 80s, football players they made kind of like regular salaries. James Brooks and them guys probably made $30,000 or $40,000 a year. They didn't make a lot of money back then.
You're right. I mean, you're right, because we was kids and we were judging them by their performance, not by their income. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, they didn't make a lot of money.
So
and
great
if
on
you
the
have
field,
a short
we
career
knew
of
the
4
struggles.
years making,
and when we grew up and we was working right alongside them, filling out at the temp service, and here my man James Brooks right now. That's the thing.
Yeah, you got to be
This is real
prepared
life.
for after. You know, you got to be prepared for after celebrity, because you're not going to be a celebrity forever. Very few people. It's hard enough to make it, to get to that point, and then it's even tougher to maintain it. And once it's gone, now what? What do? Icky Woods looked crazy shopping in the grocery store like regular people. You know, if he was, you know, a super mega star, which he was, but there's a lifestyle that come with that type of notoriety and that type of, you know, that type of fame. You can't be rolling.
That's why
up.
I commend the O.J. Simpsons of the world, and he created Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson could chip from O.J. Listen, we're not militant. We're not mad. We're happy. We're glad. Pay me, and I'll smile.
There's a difference. O.J. Simpson is a Hall of Famer. So when you get to a certain status of your, when you become a certain, when you get to a certain point in your profession, Hall of Fame stats and things of that nature, now you become a little bit, you become the game.
No, sir, this was before he was the man he was before the Hall of Fame, sir. Don't put that Hall of Fame on him. He was the same guy before that he was when he became a Hall of Famer. He had the Brian Gumble.
You're talking about O.J. Simpson?
Coming in.
This is weird, but I got to go here because CK always find a way to get certain things out of me. But you're talking about O.J. Simpson?
O.J. Orenthal.
Okay, let me just tell you about O.J. O.J. was breaking records when he was running the ball and having 212 yards a game. He was breaking records, and then he was getting national television commercials. So that was making him an icon of the sport, right?
Right.
Okay, not everybody get that. Everybody didn't achieve that level of success because they're not breaking records in the sport. You see what I'm saying?
But the people that were doing it were militant, and their name was Jim Brown, sir. He switched it up.
No.
Jim Brown was putting up the same record, sir.
And Jim Brown made a living off of football his entire life. He
became an actor. He retired from football, sir.
I understand, but you think he was making money from it? Was football that set that stage for him. He wasn't making a whole lot of money in the movies. He wasn't like lead. Hold
on. Now you about to get knocked out smooth.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to hit you with the.
Let me put my mouthpiece in. Go ahead, swing.
He worked 9 years in the National Football League, sir. He got a movie offer that was more than he made in his entire football career, and he retired on the spot, sir, off a movie.
Okay, so here's my
That's
point.
how much the movie was paying. That's how much the football wasn't paying nothing.
CK, it's not how much the movie was paying. It was how little they made in football.
That's my point.
No, it's not. You smoking. I can hear it. You smoking. Next caller. Hey, we'll talk tomorrow, CK.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man.
You crazy though. You sitting there smoking and having a con. You trolling today. I'll holler at you,
no,
CK.
Hold on. What's wrong with smoking?
You trolling though. You can't combine smoking and trolling. That don't work.
Hold on. You telling me that he wasn't making no money. He retired from the game. The legend, the best player.
Why you got your
game,
computer pulled up about how much money?
One movie.
Why you sitting there with the computer pulled up about how much money Jim Brown made?
No, I know this. All right,
well, listen, bro. All you gotta do, all you gotta do to make it make sense, so you'll understand where I'm coming from, is look up how much money Jim Brown made per season in his career of football. And you'll see he didn't make a lot of money, so it ain't hard.
That's what I was telling you.
That's what you was telling me.
You're arguing the same point.
No,
I'm saying that the money.
You sound crazy as hell, bro.
Remember when he went to the movies? He was the mean guy. He was the militant guy. O.J. Simpson came to you with the positive smile, the reinforcement. Magic Johnson took that.
You changing right? See, that's what. Hey, bro, this is your brain on drugs. That's all I'm saying to you, CK.
Hold on. What about Muhammad Ali?
You about to bring Muhammad Ali in this?
He's the girl. I'm talking about. These type of guys changed the image. He was militant. He was militant. He was stand up against the system.
Of all,
OJ was not. Magic Johnson was not, sir.
First of all, Muhammad Ali was not really militant. He was Muslim.
Okay.
There's a difference between militant and Muslim. Okay. Some tried to define the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as being militant, but it truly wasn't. It was all self-sufficiency that they were teaching as Muslim men, okay, to the community. Now, militant.
OJ was not on that, sir.
So what?
What
that got? Okay,
was not on this
why
stuff
you keep
was
bringing
on.
OJ up into that? What's that? What are you doing?
No, that's what I'm saying. That because they showed you the marketing, sir. They give you the marketing. You cannot stand up for yourself. You see what they did to Kyrie Irving. You must become one of them.
So you say OJ did though, right? He became one of them.
Yes.
He got in more trouble than all of them. He spent more time in jail than all of them. So what are you talking about?
You stay humble. You don't switch
bro,
over to their women. Once you start messing with their women, sir, you become a victim, sir.
Okay,
you
keep
stick with your own kind if you want to survive.
Right, I got you.
You see what they did to Johnny Cochran? He was poisoned with brain tumors. You remember that?
And Johnny Cochran was married to a black woman.
And they was so
what are you talking about?
That he got O.J. Simpson off, that he was poisoned. You remember that?
No, I don't believe that he was poisoned.
You don't think they hated him
he died
for getting O.J. off?
Say it again?
You don't think they hated Johnny Cochran for getting O.J. Simpson off?
I don't know if they hated him or not. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't just Johnny Cochran. First of all, Johnny Cochran made a legendary statement in his defense of saying, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. If it don't fit, you must acquit. Yeah, that's the only thing he said that was really powerful. It was a team that got O.J. Simpson off.
And I just want you to understand that these people schemed and conglomerated and made they set up O.J. Simpson for a homicide. Then they set up.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Your boy Johnny Cochran to get poisoned.
O.J. did not get set up on a homicide, bro.
Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman was murdered on the white people's behalf on revenge for the white man smashing the white wife. You remember? Mark Furman hated black people. He said the white word repeatedly, sir. These things are documented.
Well, there was probably some people that were upset that he probably could grab white women, if you want to say that, out in Hollywood. But there was enough evidence really to convict O.J. Simpson. I think the problem is O.J. Simpson had a great team, expensive lawyers, and he went up against an L.A. unprepared prosecutor's office. I think
yes, and a guy like Johnny Cochran uncovered the evidence that you're speaking of was planted by LAPD.
If that's what you want to believe, then you probably sat in front of
it to the jury.
No. You heard that through the news, and you heard it watching the court TV.
I watched the trial,
right?
Sir.
That's what I'm saying. You watched it through the court TV. You heard what Johnny Cochran wanted you to believe, and you believed him. You didn't hear.
Yeah, just like the jurors. I am an American.
Look, I'm gonna say something to you. I'm gonna say something to you that's gonna be in and out real fast. It's gonna hurt, and it ain't gonna hurt that bad because I'm gonna put the medicine in the candy. Okay, check it. Yes, I believe O.J. Simpson, if he didn't kill those people, he had something to do with it. I know your heart just stopped, but I'm gonna bring you back to life and tell you this one. I believe that Bill Cosby had nothing to do with the things that he was accused of. I think he had something to do with it, but he was not guilty of the crime. I think that Bill Cosby was doing drugs with these women, and he didn't want his personal, he didn't want his popularity to go away from being a drug user. And I believe he was doing drugs with the ladies. And that's why he admitted to giving them drugs because of the deal that he signed. He admitted giving the women drugs because he was involved in the drug usage. All of them was doing drugs in the Playboy mansions. All of them. Nobody was sitting in there.
Hugh Hefner.
No, exactly. Nobody sat in that damn Playboy bunny with 18-year-old, 19-year-old girls, probably some underage girls too. All that power and money in that building, all that blow and cocaine and shit in that building. You can't tell me they all wasn't having that one kind of fun. Okay. And what happened is I believe that Bill Cosby, as much as I admire his business hand and how he tried to do things for the community and as positive as he was, but I got to admit, when I feel something about a person, I believe Bill Cosby had a Hollywood side about him as well. And that meant that he probably was getting high with Hugh Hefner and all the rest of the guys in Hollywood. And that's what they did with these young ladies. And the young ladies told the truth about, yes, I was drugged, but I believe they were doing drugs together. Bill Cosby admitted to it, but he wanted to make it. They had gave him a deal, and then when the deal got snatched away because the prosecutor's office changed up and did some different shit, it made him really look guilty because he signed basically a deal, and the deal had him admit that he was that he had issued these women drugs. Okay,
yes, but I agree 100% with you on the Bill Cosby. But on Orenthal, you have to remember, it's like he's married to Nicole, ex-wife. He is done with her. He's not going to. He loves white people. He don't murder white people. He don't have no history of murder.
You sound crazy as hell, bro.
He loves white people more than himself. He was embedded in white culture.
Okay, let's take the color out of it, because that seems to have you a little confused.
Okay, let's take the color out.
Yeah, because a man is a man. First, wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna set it up and then you can take it. First of all, let's take the color out of it, okay?
Okay.
He's still a man with a family with this woman. I don't care what color she is. This ain't got nothing to do with I love that white woman. No, he loved that woman. And what a man may do who has 2 kids with a woman, and he know that he's still in love with her, and she out here doing things, she doing blow and doing shit out here in these streets, and he can't get away from that love, and she out here getting these little 28-year-old little young boys out here. Yeah, that in some Frankenstein kind of way could probably set some people off. Me, quite frankly, I don't know what I would do if that happened to me and my family and I had 2 young people. I don't know.
Look at your status compared to OJ. You know you're not going to commit homicide unless, like you said, somebody breaking your house. That's OJ. OJ just like you. He's not.
I don't know OJ.
2 people?
No, I don't know OJ. You don't know OJ. You don't know what he's capable of. But I do know that there was too much evidence, and there was
none. He would have had defensive wounds on his body. Son.
He did.
He would have had defensive wounds. He killed 2 people allegedly. He would have had defensive wounds, sir. There's none. Okay. He would have had faces scratches. You've seen people get murdered. You have defensive wounds, sir.
Not all the time, bro. Not all the time. Not all the time. Now, I'll be honest with you and tell you, well, not all the time. I mean, it all depends. We don't know how it happened. You don't know any of that. You don't know if they cut an artery and these people were scared. You don't know if he had the knife on somebody's throat and had them and was holding them. You don't know how it went down. So you can't say that he would have had battle wounds. Not everybody fight back. He might have did him first and then did
violence. When you murder people, if you murder your own family, they're going to be fighting. Don't nobody just sit there and let you. That's why the penitentiary is so dangerous, because you have to be good with that knife. You can't just have a knife.
All right, you have
to know how to use it, because somebody could take it from you and put it in you.
Okay. Yeah, you're right about that.
That's what I'm saying.
You're right about that. But we ain't talking about penitentiary cats. All right. Everybody
everybody
in the penitentiary don't fight back.
You have to have a history of being a professional murderer to kill 2 people like that and not getting a scratch on you.
I don't look, like I said, bro, you don't even know if he was there by himself. You don't know the situation. We're not
the evidence, sir.
No, the evidence doesn't say anything like there was only one person that was standing there while this was going on. You don't know if somebody was holding the other person while he was stabbing one person, and then they handed that person back to OJ and he stabbed him. You don't know if OJ was actually the one that was holding them. You don't know any of that. You just know 2 people died, and there was a glove and some blood all over the place. There was blood in the Bronco. There was blood all under his nails. He had a cut on his hand. There was a lot of shit that should have sent him to jail. Okay. The bottom line is he ran into a bad public, prosecutor's
the cut on his
office.
hand is when he found out he was in the hotel and he.
You watched the movie and all that old shit, bro. You falling for the defense's story.
Trial, sir. Okay. I watched it. You can't put a movie in my face. I lived it, sir. I'm not one of these young bucks. I'm not your kids. I lived it with you, sir. I was right there, step in step with you. I'm just a few years younger. I'm right there. What
I'm saying to you, bro, is the defense is not always telling the truth. So you just figured that whatever Cochran and them were saying was the truth. Because you're actually regurgitating everything that they just said.
Is not going to kill his wife when he gets off work from the NBA network. These guys got fun and money. They don't do that type of stuff.
No, guys with a lot of money and power have problems. A lot of them do things like this. A whole lot of rich, famous, not famous. There's a lot of rich guys that sit in the penitentiary. And they do it
Jamar
because they
Chase
lose.
is trying to avoid them trying to kill him. He's not trying to kill nobody.
All right,
He's the
CK.
victim.
CK,
They want his money.
CK, you're right.
Jesus
I'm gonna
Christ.
let you be right today. You knocked me out. All
Hey,
right.
much love to the family,
Our
man.
record,
Thank you for taking my call,
you just
brother.
broke my 50-0 against you. Okay. I'm now 50-1.
All right, man.
All right,
Thank
CK.
you,
Sometimes
man.
you got all right.
Thank you,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
engaging
All
with
right.
us, bro. Sometimes you gotta let them crazy motherfuckers win one. You gotta let him win one because he kept moving. Then he went to Charles Barkley. Now we was about to start talking about Charles Barkley and some other shit. So CK got one in on me today, man. Let's just say that. God, dog, bro. Can you imagine hanging with dude, like going to lunch? Can you imagine that? Could you imagine? Like, I couldn't. I don't know what me and CK would talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know. Let's go back to the phone lines, man. I don't know if I'm gonna get in what I wanted to talk about today, but I'll do the best I can. I'm running short on time. I'll do the best I can. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Wyatt.
Oh, what's up, twin? You okay, bro? You said that one like something going on. You okay?
Hell no, I'm not okay.
Damn. What's wrong, twin?
Everything, man.
Oh shit. What's going on, man? What's good? Talk to me.
I just woke up though, and I was supposed to went to my son sentence thing, but I couldn't take it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was
And he
today.
got they
I
gave him
thought you already had that.
no, they gave him 8-ball MJG, man.
What?
Yeah, 18 years and stuff.
Oh man, damn, man. Sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna be all right though. But I wasn't expecting that, you know. Regardless how much you paid the lawyer and everything
Oh
else.
shit, you can't gauge how much time you're gonna get on how much you pay the lawyer. Shit. You can't
Right.
you can't gauge it off that.
Right.
They'll keep
Then
your
say
ass out for
my
2 years, but it ain't
yeah,
free.
exactly. Yeah, I don't care how much money you gave.
Yeah, damn
Gave
right.
some money and God, I wasn't expecting that. But
And I'm
I'm
sorry
all
to hear
right.
that though, bro. I'm
But
sorry to hear that.
my
How old is he?
cousin Bertha,
25?
Lil Jane, he 26.
26, okay. And this
Yeah,
happened when he was like 25 though, right?
20 when it was all about 25.
Okay, yeah. It's been about a year.
24,
It's
20,
been about a year.
24, 25.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man, but at least he has a father that's a little bit more, you're different than you were when you were 25,
What I was
26.
expecting because, our name rung a bell in that town and, they was aiming and everything. And that's a Republican city.
Mm-hmm.
And man, hey, they know if they know you and your surroundings, hey, they got a case on you. And whatever, don't play with them people, take whatever they coming at you.
You told him to take the plea deal though, right?
I,
You was trying to tell him.
I told him.
Yeah.
I told them take it. I said, don't play with them people, man. They gonna lose you in the system. Whatever they offering you, take it. Run with it. This is a Republican town, and our name ring a bell in here. And you better take it. But man, take it, dude.
Wow.
I'm trying to tell you, take it. I mean,
Right.
it's off of 18, you cut in half, 9. You do about 7.5, something like that. Good time and all that time you serve. So he'll be doing about 5.
Is it state?
Okay. State.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear
So
that, bro. But hey, he's not the oldest guy in the world, so at least he might have a chance to go in.
It's just a
Tell him to work.
lesson.
Tell him to work, get a job, okay, in there, and go to school. Because the world is changing out here, bro. Like, it's not like he gonna get out and not have anything that he can do. The world has completely changed.
Yeah, he graduated. He went before he went to doing this. He was in juvie, and 17
bro.
he got his high school diploma in there.
Well, I mean, when I say go to school, I'm talking like a trade.
No, excuse me. You got to go to school for good time. Whatever trade you take up to cut your time.
Get him a skill under his belt, bro, because the streets is not. They ain't paying like they used to from the streets.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, though, twin. But what's on your mind, man? Other than that, is there anything we can do or say to you to make you feel better?
No, I'm going to always be all right, man.
Okay,
I think about it. I was looking.
Maybe you should go to Chicago this weekend.
Man, I got too much, and
Got too much going on.
as me as a night leader, stuff coming at me like why this ain't happening, all that. So I got to deal. I want to call off so bad, get my thoughts together, but
Well,
hey, these bills don't stop. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I got to keep moving, and I prayed about it and stuff, but they
Maybe he can get
aiming
in
at
there
me.
and cut hair or something, man. Pick up a skill, and then when he come home, you'll be there like, hey, help him build a business or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the way to do it. Because he's young
let's
enough. When he
turn.
come out, he got kids, right?
Yeah, he got a little son, a
Yeah,
little
they gonna
grandson.
need him. They gonna need him. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. What you okay though? We good? You need anything else? Is there anything I can say or do or?
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
gonna turn my goofy on and just shine away from me, the thoughts still gonna be there, but twin still gonna turn this goofy like nothing changed, man.
Okay, well, I understand
Nothing
that, man. It's funny that you called about this. I'm sorry to hear about it, but I was going to play a clip in the show. I seen a conversation with remember Trick Daddy the rapper?
Yeah.
Him and Charleston White are doing something in Trick Daddy's in Trick's
Sunday best.
I don't know if it's Sunday's
I
best.
got my pots.
Huh?
He said, I got my pots.
Yeah, well, it was something about some of these kids shouldn't be getting into trouble.
So how do you feel?
Getting in, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these kids shouldn't even be getting in trouble because I'm just putting it on the page now. I haven't showed it yet.
Well, it's about cloud chasing, man. That's
Yeah.
all it's about, man.
Yeah.
It's about cloud chasing. Who stand out the best? Name recognition, man. It's about the game, man. Name recognition. That's all it is, right? With these kids and stuff. And then, like I said the other day, man, we keep on, as parents and stuff, so much that we can bear, man. I told you that right from wrong, and I'm showing you the ropes. I've been there and all that, but you want to do the thunking and everything else. When I'm showing you, hey, this ain't it, and stuff, go that way, man. Don't go that way, and stuff, go this way. But no, you don't know what you're talking about, and at the end of the day, it's the results you get. 18 years and all that. Come on, man. When I was preaching to you, I know the system. I've been there, done that. I'm trying to inbred in you and stuff. Hey, don't go there, man. I've been there, son. But and then you get the call and your son dead. Your son in jail. Your son is. I don't want to listen to that, man. But hey, it take a soft fast and stuff to bump your head, man. I was like that. I want to listen to my brother, my mom, and all that. Okay, twin. Okay. And then I had to learn. Never knew twin would ever go end up at Department of Correction. Never knew it in a lifetime.
I think what you're saying is very common. I think a lot of kids that end up getting in trouble. I know I'm really tough on parents, but I think a lot of kids. I still say it's always on the parents. A lot of parents don't like that, but I do believe that there are a lot of parents that actually try to stop their kids from getting into things that they get into. It's just some kids are going to make those decisions on their own. And sometimes punishment is not severe enough at a young age. And they just keep graduating into these new facilities of incarceration, and they just don't think that it's anything. I just don't think that the punishments are severe enough, because if you're not listening to the parents, they definitely are not listening to the authority outside their homes.
No, you go listen to that white man. When I told you to take out that garbage at 6 o'clock in the morning, you said, okay, I got you. But there's still garbage still sitting there at 12 o'clock. Oh, okay. Go listen to the white man. I bet you when he say child time or time to clean up, I bet you suited and booted.
Right.
And that jumpsuit.
I hear you on
that.
No,
go listen to the white man. You don't
you
want to listen to me. When I tell you and stuff, hey, we need to put this product up.
So now let me ask you something, twin, if I may. Let me ask you something, brother. How do we become that white man to our children? I'm just using
what now?
I'm just using your figure of speech, your words. How do we become that white man that our kids need to be listening to? How do we become that white man in our own homes?
Cut that social media off.
Well,
cut every
they haven't always had.
Cut every task you got off.
We haven't always had social media.
No, until you learn. Hey, mom. Hey, did you pay the Wi-Fi bill? Yeah, I paid it. But it's a cord that's missing behind it. That plug-in little converter, whatever they call that little rotary bar. I didn't plug that back in so it can circulate. No, I paid the bill, but you forgot. You so high and dumb and everything that the cord in the back is still loose. Go back there with your high ass and put it back on. But I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna make you suffer. Now you gotta go get what? Connection to the next door neighbor or something, or go to McDonald's, get a connection. That's how you do that. That's how they penetrate off wire. It's Wi-Fi. You cut that off wire, hey, you cut the source off with everything.
Well, I'm gonna be
You
honest with
remember
you.
a year or two ago when it happened, why people went crazy.
Yeah,
I was
no,
in a gas station. Hey, you got Wi-Fi? You got Wi-Fi? These people was going crazy. Like it was the end of the world.
I agree with you to a certain extent. I agree. Actually, I agree everything that you say when you bring the point up of internet. Why, social media. I agree with all of that because I think social media is a huge magnet and a problem of what's going on in today. But I think that
Right.
it starts before a kid even understands or knows what the internet is. I think we have to teach our kids.
Man, all these kids know why. Cut it off. Why? Watch they go. Man, let the government cut it off for 2 days.
What I'm saying to you, twin, is this. I'm gonna be perfectly
Go ahead,
honest with you. I
go
can't
ahead.
let this moment go past. I think our kids have certain mentalities. All our kids don't match our mentalities as a parent. Like my mentality is a little bit different through my kids, right? However, my teachings, the things that I allow them to do at an early age, that's usually what they're attracted to is what you put in
Right.
front of them at an early age. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of kids who grow up hustling and stuff is usually around them. No kid is born outside of hustling, outside of certain lifestyles, and then they gravitate to it just out of GP. That generally doesn't happen.
Right.
A kid that's raised by a parent that is kind of letting things go by and not paying attention, that kid can be influenced by by the streets because they don't have any structure from the parent, so that they can follow the bad path. And even if it's not right in front of them, they can go find it. But in most cases, when you have a father who has a son, that father should be right there. You see what I'm saying? From day one. That's why when you hear me say certain things and people think that I'm flexing or whatever you want to say, I kind of practice what I preach. So I say things like, I've been in my daughter's life, both of them, every day of their life. I say that intentionally. So the message will be, you have to be in these kids' life. Sometimes you might be going through things with your wife, and that's another thing. We got to start wifing up our women. When you're going through things with your wife, you might not be the best husband in the world, but you still got to be a great daddy. You see what I'm saying? And I just think that where we're dropping the ball is a lot of the men in our culture are not being fathers. And then the biggest excuse to that is, well, I didn't have a dad. So it's not your fault because there had to be something that happened before you as well. You see what I'm saying? It just seems to be this domino effect of absentee. And, I hate to be the burden of all this, of what some would know is obvious information, but some just don't see it that way. I just think that if we got more into getting back eating Sunday dinners or eating and being a family all over again, our kids wouldn't want to disappoint us. That could be a deterrent. Because we grew up, a lot of us on this platform grew up not getting in trouble. We got in trouble. We got in sneaky trouble, not in no street trouble. We got in sneaky trouble. And I think the thing that was in the back of our mind is, man, if my mama find out, I'm fucked up. She gonna get me. And I think we got to get back to those, I hate to say it, but those threats. See, we don't have, you got a lot of kids out here these days, both black and white or whatever. They have no respect. They have no fear of their parents. All right. And I think that's the major problem of that same threat of letting our parent down is not there. It's just not there.
These kids want to see these new parents are white. I hate to say this though, but they want to be their kids' friends, man. Sit down and drink and smoking with their kids. I was never like that, man. Why? I'm 19, 21. Man, if I saw my daddy and all that, or my mom and stuff, man, I'd run out of the way and everything. My mom used to say, twin, Hey, I pray to God that you just choke off that cigarette. I'm praying he don't kill you, but I hope you choke off that cigarette. You know better. You better find your way to the church house and all that. I'm like, no, Mom. And they, okay,
Well,
man.
that's no different than my mother says she gonna knock my head off. You know what I'm saying? She don't want you to choke on the
But we
cigarette,
took,
but you know what I'm saying?
she wanted me to stop
Right,
smoking and all
exactly.
that.
I get it. You know,
But she knew, but it was out of respect. I never did, cussed in front of my mom. None of that crazy stuff, man. God get one of my sister, brother backhand me, two-piece me in the face or the chest or something like that. It was about respect growing up, man. Back in the day, that's why I missed the, old days and everything, how it used to be, right? That's what we need to get back to. Like, man, every Friday, we had a fish fry, man. Me and my brother still keep it going.
yeah.
Tradition and everything. Fish fry on Friday, man, ribs and all that on Saturday. And then we all come together on Sunday with the Kool-Aid and all that. Hey, y'all bless the plate and all that. And spread, the food everywhere, Kool-Aid, that cake on the side. That used to be the lovely days, man.
Well,
and then you invite the whole, if you ain't had nothing to eat that Sunday, your friends and all them, they come over.
Yeah. Well, I just know that a lot of things have changed in the dynamics of how family are doing things. It hasn't changed everywhere. There's still families that do everything we used to do. We're talking about a particular group of behavior that's out there that's doing this. This ain't all people, all right? Because like, to be honest with you, we've fallen off as a family in my own house. I mean, as my kids get older, I can't do like when my kids are home and school break and all that, and they're not at campus and stuff.
Hey, I'm gonna cut you off for a minute. Did you pause when your daughter said I'm moving out? Did it hurt your heart, man?
Well, yeah, I've never had a daughter just move out because of
I
like she
said
ready
that you
to.
pause like do something hit your heart.
No,
Like,
I knew
man,
my daughters were leaving because they went to college and they had to stay in dorms and stuff. So yeah, that crushed me. But it's not the same as, like I think, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to some people. I think some parents will understand what I'm talking about. I think there's a huge difference from letting your kid out of the house and they going to start their own life with an apartment and living, going to work and doing that. That's a different feel than letting your daughter go off to college and now she's living a college life and she's still in development and she's there to learn. And I think you still feel like,
world, man.
I'm sorry.
I said, especially the way things going in the world, there's a lot of concern in it.
Yeah, that's a different, and I got that coming. I got that coming. I still got a few more years with my daughters in school, but eventually my oldest is going to be done with school and she's going to have to move out and take care of her own nest and her, her own place. And yeah, she'll be a little older though, so it might be a little easier for me to deal with. But I couldn't imagine my kid graduating from high school and then a week later saying, "Dad, I'm about to move out and get my own place," and I know they about to go out and struggle, because they haven't prepared themselves for what's going on out there. You feel me? I know you're gonna struggle. You haven't had enough mistakes, and y'all know what I'm talking about because a lot of us did it. A lot of us weren't prepared for the world that we ended up in. No one prepared us. Our parents didn't prepare us. All our parents taught us how to do was keep our house clean. Some of us. See what I'm saying? They taught us how to do certain things. They taught us how to maybe grocery shop or something like that. But they didn't show us how to budget. They didn't show us how to take care of this. And we're not in a field that might be there. Like, okay, I'm going to be a bartender. Like, I'm going to make $200 a night when I get called in to come to work. And now you out here trying to scratch and claw and get as much money together. And some make it and some don't. And, it's just a hustle. I just think that that's a different release of a kid versus a kid that going off to school, and it's a hard break off. Everybody know that because I damn near cried on the show when it happened. But
hey, Wyatt, you talked about that guy, the 58 over parking lot, right? I mean parking space. Remember?
Yeah.
A couple of minutes ago, you talked about it. 20 minutes ago, maybe. See, I ain't know him personally, but I know I used to see him all the time because he was next door to my sister. See, he was riding motorcycles and he got a prostate leg.
Okay.
And Wyatt over in College Hill, some guys robbed him and he shot him.
Okay.
He shot the young boy. So his fear is like, I ain't taking no more chance.
I got you.
Or whatever the case may be. And when you like that, Wyatt, you on stand, you on point. Like, man, I've been through this.
So what was he doing? He was going over there to go shopping, or was he
No,
going?
he was in there at the restaurant.
So he
And
went to
he
a
parking over
restaurant.
space and all that. And you an older kid, you ain't with that rah stuff. And I ain't in good health. And my mentality like, oh, it go one of these young niggas again.
I
And
got
all
you.
that. I ain't taking no chance.
Yeah,
So
that's still not right. That is,
he had that in bread because he kept a pole on. I used to see it all the time.
Let me say this to you, bro. I don't carry my gun everywhere I go. I'll be honest with you. I have
You said what?
I don't carry my gun everywhere that I go. Okay. When I'm going certain places,
federal places or public?
both actually. I'm just saying, like, I don't carry my, like, okay, my family and I, let's just say we're going to dinner at a certain type of restaurant in a certain neighborhood that might be outside the city. Okay. I don't see any reason to carry my gun, so I don't even take it. I don't put it on me. I don't put it in the car. I don't carry it because I know where I'm going. Chances are, I mean, I don't live a life.
Reasonable. I can understand that.
Yeah, I don't live a life where I'd rather be, I'd rather have it just in case. I don't live that type of life. I don't have people after me. I don't have a reason to be ducking and diving. I don't have, it's not, I don't live that type of life. I only carry my gun for work and for protection when I need it in certain areas. That's what a gun is for. It's for protection. It's not to be, going places that you probably shouldn't be in. And I'm going to go anyway because I got my protection. If you don't have to go there, this is what I got a problem with that whole situation. If this man know that over there is hot and he's tired of people robbing him, then instead of going over there being prepared to be robbed again, and I'm going to deal with it this time, I would make a different decision of just not going over there. That's
so
just how
you wouldn't, man. If that's your favorite spot, and
it's not my favorite spot anymore.
But you look at the area though.
But it's not my favorite spot anymore.
I'm saying he is. I ain't talking about you. Maybe
know.
that's his. Those are these like that Shake Shack, whatever
it is. Shake Shack, is that the only one in the city?
Probably. But
what's the name of it? What was the name of it?
Where he stayed? Shake Shack, Sugar Shack, whatever.
Shake Shack.
Shake Shack. Something like that.
Okay.
But he stay in College Hill though.
Okay. There's Shake Shacks other places. There's one way far away from there.
Probably closer to him. Why?
Yeah, I know, but bro, that's you know what?
Why you can't talk to people crazy no more? They not fighting. Why?
That's not what I'm suggesting.
You ain't fighting, and you come when you
Twin, do I love Shake Shack more than I love my life?
Okay, why you're not in that position, man? Once again,
I'm not talking about me.
You don't know. We back to the dude.
I know.
Hinton dude.
I know.
You don't know what type of mode you in, man.
I know.
You up there and got kicked out, got fired, and you coming me with this yin yang and all that. No,
that's why I wouldn't go over there if I'm in a bad mood.
Hey, Wyatt, come on, I'm hungry. Come on, Wyatt. Come on, man. Let's act real, man. Come on, Wyatt.
All right, bro.
We grown, Wyatt.
I know, and that's the sad part about it, bro.
Come on.
That's the sad part about it.
I'm in a bad mood. Girl left me. I'm fired. Friends ain't calling me.
All of that.
You don't know, and I'm gonna take it out on one of you goofy as soon as y'all say something.
Right. That's why I ain't got no business going over there.
That's why, to avoid all that, because I don't get into arguing with nobody. I have, but I walk away because I know I can't carry no pole like I used to.
Hey, twin, let me
but
tell you
I know what I'm
bro.
capable of doing, being a demon with it, but I don't do it.
Twin, let me tell you a secret.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you a secret. This is a true story.
Come here, mama.
Come here. This is a true story, and I'm gonna say it on the air so people can see that I'm trying to do the best I can and trying to get this point across to you. I remember one time I was a young dude. I lived in Law Homes, and I wasn't the best little guy, but I wasn't the worst little dude. I used to sell weed. I used to sell dime bags of weed. That's how long ago it was, because they ain't sold dime weed and I don't know how long. But my point is this. I got robbed going up to a friend's house, a girlfriend. She, not girlfriend like that, a girl that used to buy weed. And she set me up. I went up to the third floor in Law Homes. I was trying to, I was serving them some weed. I had my gold chain on. I got it custom, nice little piece, the whole nine, right? And I get up there, go in, do my business with her with the exchange. And when I come out, while I'm there, two dudes that I knew growing up walk in. They come in there. And I said, what's up to them? I even knew these cats. Like, I knew them. I walk out it didn't feel right. I went to the bathroom. I said, let me go to the bathroom before I leave. I go to the bathroom. I got my gun on me. You know what I'm saying? I got this. I got what I need to be where I got what I need. But I put all the rest of my weed in my sock and put my gun in my sock, right? As I left, I already knew this was some bad shit. You feel me? I knew this was some bad. I knew I was in a bad space. They robbed me in the hallway in Law Homes. I didn't
reach your gun in your damn sock.
Yeah, because I knew these dudes. I knew them. I knew they wasn't no killers. I knew that they was bully type dudes. Feel me? I read the room. I know these guys. They not killers. So they robbed me, pulled my gold chain off of me, and I left. I look like a sucker move, don't it?
You're a square, man.
See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? But guess what I am?
Square.
But guess what I am? I'm a sucker square ass little dude sitting right here talking to you today. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lose my life. They the real squares.
Where they at?
Well, one of them Stanley lost his life. I shouldn't have said his name because some of y'all know Stan. But one of them lost his life. He died. He got shot. You know what? That was the moral to the story. He robbed another dude. Because look, I can't sell drugs, get robbed, and go tell the police. They ain't gonna arrest him for robbing a dope boy, right? So I knew what he was about. A year and a half. I went and told all my little friend Jazzy. I told them all, like, Stanley and them just got me up in the block. We down at the Y at a party. I told them, they all looked at me like, well, handle your business. Do what you need to do. Next time you see him, punch him in his face. That's how it was where we were. So I was like, well, I catch him. I'm going to catch up with him. I'm going to catch him. I wasn't going to shoot him. I'm going to fight him, right? But here's the thing. I didn't even get a chance to do no blowback at him, bro. I had to let the streets handle that shit the way it was. He robbed the wrong one. Guess what happened, though, twin? The moral to the story is this. The last dude he robbed, he shot him. The dude shot him and killed him. Stanley died. The other dude went to jail for 13 years. Now, where do I fit in that equation? Where do I fit? I'm sitting here talking to you today. I lost a little pack, 4 dimes and a gold chain. I lost a little hot little something, but I got my life. I was able to recoup, and I'm here today to tell you this story. And I ain't done no time.
You said dude that shot Stanley got 13 years.
He got 13 years.
Oh, okay.
He got more than that, but he did 13 years.
Oh, okay.
So now my point is, and here's the other thing. Now I didn't go back to that apartment. I fell out with old girl because I know she set me up. And it's crazy. We she ain't never really like me, but we sandboxes, like we grew up in the boys club together.
She still live?
Yeah, she's still living. But bro, look, that was so long ago. I was a young dude. I was 22 years old or something like that. 21, 22 years old. This was before it was so early in my life. I hadn't even met my wife yet. I was probably 20, 21 years old. Yeah, so look, and here's the thing. I tell people all the time, I'm not a street dude. Like I've done street shit, but I'm not a street. See, a street dude would have went to jail. A street dude would have caught a case right there. A street dude is what a street dude would do street shit. And that is, he would have had his gun. And when they tried to rob him for 4 dimes, which is nothing, that guy would have lost his life. And I would have lost my life in that hallway that night. I would not be able to do the things that I do today with those type of felonies on my record. I would not have been accepted in school. I wouldn't have been able to be the person that I am or the things that I wanted to achieve. I wasn't able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Hey, Delirious I thought that's when he had the red suit on.
Yes, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I thought that was always Raw when he had but Raw is the purple suit, right?
Mm-hmm. Raw was the second one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the funniest one, though.
So that was the ABCs of me, folks. I'm sorry. I had to let Twin hear one of those in this real story. Anybody that don't believe that one, I don't mean that you don't believe what I'm saying. My man Rufus Johnson he's my receipt to that. Because that's where I got the pistol. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Rufus. Rufus ain't always been that nice guy that he is. Rufus from Chicago, and Rufus will tell you how I was as a kid. Rufus had a lot to do with who I was as a kid. But Rufus is good people. I wasn't no crash dummy. Rufus was one of them type of old head dudes that would be like, hey, you way too smart for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go do no dumb shit like I did. I went, because I called Rufus right out of jail. Like I knew him before he went. He didn't pay me no attention. Me and him became cool when he came home, and I could have ended my whole life as I know it today. I could have ended that a long time ago.
Yeah, cool
That's why I
dude,
don't
heard
talk highly of the
stories about him.
streets. I don't talk highly of the streets because I know we
Yeah.
have choices, and our choices
Yeah.
could end up real bad, and it ain't nobody's fault but our own.
Right, exactly. Hey, you know, you talked about OJ.
Yep.
He went to his grave with
Well,
that
I
one,
didn't
man.
say shit about. I wasn't talking about
I
OJ.
mean,
That was CK.
CK.
Yeah,
Well, he went to his grave with. To be honest, why he had something to do with it.
I think
But he
so.
wasn't gonna tell. Man, he kept tired. Man, he got tired of paying her fees, man, and everything. She wanted to get high and all that, and them people came at her. Hey,
Oh,
man,
okay, yeah,
we
yeah.
need our money. Man, that girl was getting faded all the time, man.
Probably
We need
so,
our
but
money. He was paying that fare for her stuff. He got tired, and it was a hit. If he probably was there and watched it and everything. Hey, let's go.
I think
But
so.
hey, they needed their money. She was getting faded.
I think so. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
A,
he was paying her debt, man. Them people's come. Hey, we need to. Hey, your girl.
well,
Owed us.
I
And
don't
he
know
got
what the
tired of
I
it.
don't know what the reason was. To be honest with you, Twin, you might have a point. Maybe she had a
Man,
drug
street,
problem.
man. People, man, it would never come out, but that's how it is.
No, I
He
understand.
I heard too many stories about it and everything. Like, man, she was a dope fan. He was paying her debt, and them people got tired. It was a hit, and then, man, hey, the
So you're
deal was
saying
up to
that
the jury. He
they were
found not
shake. You
guilty.
saying that
Why you got to go with
you
that?
saying that
That's
they
what
were.
they saw.
Are you saying that they were shaking OJ down for her money, her losses?
Yeah, man, it was a hit.
Then I don't think OJ would have been there if it went down like that. See what I'm saying?
I
Like
mean,
she didn't owe him.
he knew about it.
Yeah, I think
They
he had
say, hey,
something. No,
man, they probably like, man,
I think
bump
OJ
y'all,
had something
whatever.
to do with it, bro. For what the reason was, I don't know. I don't know if it was because of how much he loved her or how much she was playing with him or dissing him.
He was
I
in
don't
his
know.
feelings about the little Goldman waitress, whatever he was. He was in his feeling, but he let it go. And then them people like, hey, OJ, we need our money. Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with it. Do whatever y'all.
Then that wouldn't, as I don't know if I would go make sure that some shit was about to happen to
They
my
had to
ex.
put their clues together, like, oh, you mad and stuff. She was Rod Goldman, and you stalked her, you did this and all that. You had something to do with it, and that's how they put the case together. And they did it the wrong way. He planted the glove over there, and other bloods, and it wasn't OJ's, and they went off that. And hey, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit or whatever he said.
Yeah,
So,
but you know what was
jury,
weird about that?
huh?
I'm gonna say this last thing and then I gotta go, Twin, about that. The crazy thing about that is that glove that they found at the scene that was bloody, they actually found that same make and model glove on OJ's hands while he was doing a news report at a football game. I believe that was his glove. I think where they went wrong is they didn't understand that leather gloves shrink as they get wet and decay a little bit. You see what I'm saying? Like as they get older, they tend to shrink. And OJ put the glove on with a rubber glove on and the whole nine, and he pretended that it didn't fit and all of that. I just think that the prosecution went bad when they asked him to put it on and they made him put it on. Even if it would have fit, then they would have been okay. And I mean, it's a glove that fits my hand. That doesn't mean anything. I think the mystery of the glove being in his closet was stronger than him actually. I think that the worst thing that the prosecutor could have did was allow him to put the glove on. That's the inexperience of bad prosecutors. Okay, that's what that was. The only reason why OJ got off on that is because Melba, whatever her name was, not Melba Marsh. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't remember her name, but they were bad.
Something.
They were horrible. They were bad. They were bad, bro. And it was a city case. It wasn't the feds. It wasn't the feds. You see what I'm saying? That's why it was so much easier for them to win the civil trial. I mean, he still owed them like $30-something million, and he lost that at a blink of an eye. The evidence was overwhelmingly. It wasn't even there wasn't
around, was that before Rodney King or after?
It was after.
Oh.
And first of all, let me ask you this. Here's the other thing that I always question. Now I know emotions get high in certain things, but why did OJ go? Why did he run off in the Bronco? Thank you, Fame. It was Marsha Clark.
You said what now?
why did OJ, why did he get in the Bronco and go on a check? Why did he go on that long chase?
Man, that's a good question.
I mean,
Because
if you're not guilty of
he
something, you
be
don't.
scared for his life, and
No,
it
they
seemed
went.
like
He was. There were
you
no.
making
There
all
was.
this. You like you guilty of this.
Just
And I'm
remember
gonna kill
when he had.
myself and all that.
Remember when he had the guy in the. He was threatening that he was going to murder him. Do himself.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like,
And
"Life is messed up. I could really explain all of this, and I could tell you." He was just saying too much that we didn't hear in court. Nobody was listening to that type of stuff in court.
They never bring it in court.
I don't understand people that are innocent who run. I've been out in the streets. I ain't never ran from the police unless I had something on me or I was doing something. The time you don't run is when you don't have anything. That's when you feel the best, when you out here ripping and running. You feel me? Like, I ain't never ran just because, like, I got another story, but I'll save that for another day. But I'm just saying, the best thing, if you out here in these streets ripping and running, none of them guys are running when they innocent. Because that's when they look up to them that one kind of way, like, you ain't got shit on me. You can check, you can look all of. They ain't running if they don't have anything that they can get arrested for.
Right.
So, all right, twin, I gotta bounce, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for engaging.
Okay.
All right, man. Talk to you. That was twin, bro. I wanted to play this video since we were talking about this a little bit. I think twin gave us a good, a good stopping point, but I kind of wanted to bring something up. Look, I told a story about myself that I had never told before on the air. 5 years, 106 days we've been on the air now, and I've never shared that story. I got a few stories like that. I'm not proud of those stories, but those things that I've gone through in life shaped and formed me to be who I am today. I wish I didn't have to go. I wish I didn't have to go through that. I made the decisions. I made those choices to be in certain places in life. I made those choices. If I had to pay the price of making those decisions, I just would have had to pay the price. I couldn't have blamed nobody. I couldn't have blamed no one. I probably could have blamed my mama. You know what I'm saying? Because my mother could have had me at a later age. She could have had a husband, and her husband and her could have had a little dude named Randall Wyatt, birthed me, and she could have married a man who had me as my father, and he could have walked me through life like a man should walk a son through life. I guess that's the only blame I have. I can blame my father for having a baby with a woman or a young girl at 14 years old, and he had no business doing what he was doing. And then once you had that, you didn't take responsibility for your child. You didn't teach me anything. You didn't teach me how to be, how not to be. You just abandoned me, basically. And I could blame him because he had a little boy. He didn't teach his little boy anything. I could blame that father. See, I'm so mixed into what's going on out here in these streets and shit. Like, you talking to the wrong one if you looking for sympathy. You looking at the wrong, you talking to the wrong one. I ain't gonna sit here and do what, these ain't babies out here. These are people that have made certain decisions based on sometimes circumstances. But believe it or not, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy when I say this, but a lot of these little boys that's out here shooting at 14, 15 years old, they got families that love them. These guys just made different they just made different decisions. You feel me? They made the decision to do what they doing. Now, I wanted to say something about that too. Don't think that every one of these guys out here that's shooting and doing shit in the neighborhoods, they come from shitty ass families or some ain't shit people. No, a lot of them got grannies that don't know what they doing, and it's like, look, Earl, they know what they doing, but they can't do nothing about it. All right. But here's the other thing. Some of these little dudes don't have a mother at home. They got a mother, but they don't have a mother at home because the mama is on dope. The daddy is like nowhere to be found. The daddy might be on drugs, whatever. See what I'm saying? There's so many different circumstances, but I don't have no filter for it. Like, I don't feel I don't feel sorry. None of that. Because I've been around it, did it, seen it, smelt it, felt it, the whole fucking nine. And I don't need some sedity ass black folk from the suburbs coming into my neighborhood or coming down in my neighborhoods now, trying to make everybody understand it a certain kind of way. You ain't never been in it. You don't know. You don't understand the decisions that people make. It ain't always the circumstances that make you do what you do. It's just the fact that you want to live a certain lifestyle. You want to do certain things. You just haven't. It's so frustrating sometimes. I'm going to tell you, this is a real reason why the temperature is what it is today. Just think about it. It's not a coincidence that violence, gun violence, fighting and shooting over parking spaces and the block is hot and all that old shit. It's not a coincidence that it's 20 years later, 25 years later. Those 90s babies had babies, okay? Those babies from the 90 babies are now at that 25-year-old range, and they didn't have their babies, and those babies are 14 and 15 years old, and it's not a coincidence to me. When we start getting lost in the 90s, we just got further and further pushed back into this black hole. And unfortunately, what do they call it? The roosters are home to roost, or whatever that term is. Now you're getting some of the worst from the worst. There's drive-bys going by in the whole nine out here. When did Cincinnati start having drive-bys? When did we start having in Cincinnati 4 or 5 people being shot in one night? When did that start happening? It's been happening. Sometimes they don't report everything. They don't report everything in the news. I've been telling y'all for 5 years, 109 days now, that they only put 10% of the shit on the news that happens in a night. You wouldn't want to live in Cincinnati if you heard the 911 calls every night. You wouldn't want to live there. And unfortunately, I heard somebody say some things like crime is up everywhere. It's up it is. But worry about your own neck of the woods. Worry about what's going on in Cincinnati before you start trying to justify crime in your neighborhood because it's crime in Nashville or it's crime in Memphis. They shooting in Kansas City too. What the fuck difference does that make to the people in Cincinnati? Because it's a regular, all it's showing me is, well, there's a consistency of knuckleheads that are raising children. And there's a consistency of knuckleheads who are trying to pretend like nothing can be done about it. Because what they think is nothing can be done about it because the punishments will punish people that are innocent, like parents. You really think that parents that are raising bad kids are innocent because the kid is just doing what the kid want to do? The kid is acting out the mentality, the morals that this kid has been raised with. Why you think I was the way I was when I first came? I had the morals of a home with my mom, my granny, uncle, we had loving family. But then I had this other family out there too. I had that street family from like my father's side. Like, what was I? Like, I had to make a decision. I knew deep down inside, I tell it right here. I am not a street dude. I know I'm not a street dude. There's a lot of dudes sitting in the penitentiary right now that are not street dudes, but they did some street shit. A lot. Some won't understand. They're not from it. They wouldn't understand. And I don't have any sympathy. Nope. I really want to say I don't care, but that's not true because I wouldn't even be here talking for 5 years, 109 days if I didn't care. But the truth of the matter is, the people that say they can't do nothing about all this crime and this killing and shooting and stuff in the city that's happening, if you really think it's because people are leaving their guns in their car, that's just as stupid as believing there's no gangs in Cincinnati. I would look at my leadership and say, wow, you're bold enough to tell me that? And I would have to question it. Like, when you say there's no gang, I don't know that individuals do drive-bys by themselves. I don't know if individuals have a beef with somebody that they're willing to do a drive-by without it being some type of organized situations. Y'all know what I'm talking about? There's some organized shit going on when you having drive-bys. I'm sorry. I mean, like I said, I'm no kingpin. I ain't in it like that, but I know how the streets move. I don't think anybody can come in here and say, yeah, you know what? There's a knucklehead ass uncle that ride around. If he have a beef with you, he gonna shoot up the house. That ain't how we go. Drive-bys happen from a group of guys in a car that's trying to hit another group of guys for a reason. Sound like some gang-related shit to me. Let me show you this clip if you guys don't mind. And it's kind of a different kind of clip. It's the rapper Trick Daddy and the guy Charleston White. I found this to be a little not funny, but it's kind of on the pace of what we talk about sometime here. And just listen to what Charleston White had to say about what Trick Daddy was talking about, and see who can relate to this. Check it out.
So how do you feel about this new era, this new wave of people that want to cancel certain people, right? And how do you feel about the young nigga that ain't never had a fight, that grew up with his mom and his daddy, that was on the honor roll all his life, had perfect attendance, that had his own room, that was given an allowance, that was the teacher pet, getting with a group of thug niggas, putting in a position where now he has to commit a crime, he has to commit a heinous act, and when the first time he do it,
nigga, that was me. That was me. That's how I caught my murder case. Nigga, that had his own room, own phone line. Nigga, mama working General Motors. Nigga, that was me.
And so is it fair to that nigga to be considered as a rat or a snitch because he told the crooked ass system, the prosecutor, and the illegal police with illegal question of a minor, he told them the truth because at the time they promised him, we gonna give you a deal. Because your homeboy in there, he was a robber, he's a killer.
They already know, okay, this kid he live over here. They already know, they done already profiled y'all. They already know which kid to come get. I was the first kid they came to get. Man, you was taught, tell the truth.
Yeah.
When you get in trouble, what your mama gonna say? You better tell these white folks the truth. They already know who to go get. Nigga, we was taught from a childhood, the average black person, unless he was taught not to talk to the police, is gonna talk to the police, especially when it's something serious, because we were raised to tell the truth.
Not only that, we've been threatened and questioned and saying, you ain't never getting out.
And they gonna call your mama and have your mama come talk to you.
That was a no-no in the black community. You don't want your mama to get called at work or woke up out of her sleep for school or some trouble that you done got into because you embarrassing them.
Yeah, so the average kid, homie, especially for today's time, he ain't been taught any rules, any principles, any codes, any ethics for streetwise to go against the fear of being in trouble.
I use that example because I've often told friends, and I often said it on social media, that I know Kodak did a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine, charged him $1 million. I was jealous.
Cause you didn't get that million.
I would have did
easy
that song.
Million. Yeah,
I
easy.
did that song because for one, what Kodak said made sense. He said, that's not my rap. For two, ain't no way them gangster, extorting, murder, drug dealing ass niggas thought that it was okay to fuck this man lady.
Kidnap him,
extort him,
and then when the feds say, hey, listen to this, they do your woman the same way. Hey, listen,
he was about to kill you.
Man, they'll do your woman the same way. Show her some videos and recordings of you being with another woman and she'll turn on you too.
So is it fair that we call a person like that a rat? And do we, as society, do we have to be accepted or do we have to be pressured into saying, okay, I don't fuck with him too?
When did niggas let Mexicans in the black gang? That's the fair question. When did these niggas let the Mexicans into the black gang? And he get all the information on them. When did niggas,
a lot of information.
Man, and then when did niggas start expecting Mexicans or anybody to be loyal to niggas? He didn't tell on no Mexicans, he told on all niggas. Right. So he get to come back and be Mexican in his people with his people. He gave up a bunch of niggas. So when did niggas start expecting other races not to give us up? So who?
For some, that might not have made any sense at all. This is why our babies need to be off these streets, y'all. This is why. Charleston White, if you listen to his story, y'all might not like him. You may not like what he says. Charleston White was the smaller of the two guys. He had everything out in the suburbs. His mom worked for General Motors and all of that. And here he is coming down here dealing with killers and people on the street and stuff like that. He wasn't a street dude. He wasn't a street dude. And you know, a lot of our sons are running into that situation. A lot of them are pulling these triggers and they're not really about that life. Some of them are just running into the wrong people. The way, you know, a lot of people ask me, well, what's the solution to the problem, Wyatt? I can't continue to answer that question any differently than I've already answered it. It's very, very simple, whether we want to admit it or not. It's very, very simple. Our parents have to be engaged in our lives as children from the hospital to the cradle, through preschool, elementary, daycare, all that, all the way to junior high, high school, the whole nine. We have to keep our children out of the way of the bad influencers. That's the easiest answer that I can possibly give you. And the easiest way that you do that is you get real parents that have the resources to be able to put your kids in different things. The days of making up excuses of, well, I've done all I can do. No, you haven't. You have to have your kids' mentality in your hand. Your kids, like Charleston White said, the days of little boys being afraid of how their mamas feel about them, those days are gone. I agree with him. A lot of shit I didn't do because I was afraid what it would do to my mom, my grandmother, and how it would, you know, it would damage them. That's the deterrent. That's the deterrent. We got to put something in these kids' life, even if it's a young girl sitting at Withrow High School in the 11th grade. Her decision making should be based on what she could face if she make bad decisions. It has to start early in life. Some parents' kids go to school stressing about what college they're going to go to because they've been talked about, college been talked about their whole life. If they're going to have a strong enough, college entry score, that's stress to some kids. Other kids stressing about what's going on in the neighborhood because they're being pressured to have sex. All I'm saying, what our kids absorb is usually the direction they end up going in. Not all of us are lucky. Not all of us will defeat the odds. But if you ever ask me, I'm going to always consistently give you the same answer. And that answer is always going to be, well, when you get a parent in a kid's life who keep their kid distracted, and I mean distracted away from the streets and distracted from the cool boys and the one sit in the Suzuki sidekicks and shit like that. When you get little girls that don't bother with that type of stuff, they go off and usually be a little bit better. Okay, they grow up and they decide they want the nerd. Let's just say that they want the soft dude. Hey, twin. They want the dude that don't pop off in the hallway on the 3rd floor from getting robbed. They shouldn't want that dude. That dude is going to be a problem for that young lady in life. That dude going to have a baby with a girl and he going to be calling and getting wired money to the joint and all that old shit. And I don't understand why we don't clearly see what the problem is. I guess everybody hasn't walked in the same footsteps. So I'm not trying to make it about, I just believe that people know what they know. But what I get frustrated, I have to be honest and just say this. And I know a lot of people are going to judge me when I say this. I just think quite honestly that a lot of people who don't really know, those be the loudest people in the room. Those be the ones that have the leadership roles or put themselves in leadership roles in our communities. And they come up with all these different alternative ways, all these programs and all this old shit. It's not about the programs. The program's been existing forever. You got to have a parent programmed to be able to do what parents do for kids. If the parent don't know what to do, the kid don't stand a chance. That's my time. Peace and love. I'll see you guys on the next one. See you tomorrow right here at the same time, 1 o'clock.
I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Are we on the radio, dudes? Well, give it to me. I can't sleep. I'm tossing and turning. I still got the candlesticks burning. It ain't changed, but it's a different time. And I'm still playing tricks with my mind. My mother's always stressing that I'm living wrong, but I got my Smith & Wesson cause I'm getting grown. And they're looking at your little boy's success. And I've been thinking I'm dealing with too much stress. So I stay up on my P's and Q's and watch out for the G's and fools. Cause the homies that I thought I had see me stacking up a grip and they just started talking back. So I stay away from outsiders. And when I roll through, it makes them open their mouth wider. I used to think that you was my one and only homie. My mind was playing tricks on me. My mind was playing tricks on me. Yeah. Let's get up. Dear Donnie, I'm having a little problem with my mind state. How many bullets would it take to change my mind? Wait, sometimes I wanna end it, but I don't though. They tell me see my pastor, but I don't go. Cause they all be on this one street. So I take it on myself to thank him one deep and give my money to the most needy, and never put it in the hands of the most greedy. Cause they're putting a price tag on the man's word, and it's a fashion show, so the men flirt. The world is ending, so they try to make us switch fast. And they opening up these churches for some quick cash and using the money for their new cribs. While Brother Johnson just got kicked out where he lived. I follow no man, cause man beat folk. My mom was playing tricks on me. My mom was playing tricks on me. Yeah. Day by day it's more impossible to cope. I feel like I'm the one that's doing dope. Can't seem to keep my mind on a steady track. I'm all about getting mine, so I study that. But it seems they want to get me. So I try to keep my 9mm with me, just in case they want to see your homie's head flown. But I gotta stay around to see my kids grown. I finally found a woman who could deal with me. Back then I had a girl who wasn't real with me, and now she's back with her old lady. And now I got it going on, and they sure hate me. Now I'm a gone and she's a loner. Yeah, her mom was playing tricks on her. One time for your motherfucking mind. Bringing it back like this here. 1991 all the way to 1994 when they call me Face. Yeah, her mom was playing tricks on me.